We arrived in Costa Rica, and after a couple days of getting settled in, we set off for our first adventure to a small town called Santa Teresa. Our first night camping. An awesome view of the ocean right down there. And our camping spot's right here. The next day, we were off hiking 8 miles to a small town in Cabuya, where we hoped to find another campsite. We unexpectedly ran into some awesome wildlife. There's so many cool sounds of birds and frogs and thunder. Cool. So what are these called?
A sensitive fern.
Hey, Doug. A lot of dogs around here.
None of them are fixed either.
It was hard to find a campsite here, and when we asked the locals, most didn't understand what we meant by camping. We managed to find a semi-remote beach spot just before sunset. It felt like a safe area to camp. It was definitely a magical place to spend the night. We had heard of some nearby waterfalls. After hiking several miles, we finally arrived. It was totally worth it.
That's soaking wet, see through skull, see through skin.
We headed inland to the volcano region called Monteverde. Signing up for bungee jumping was a little harder than we thought. Hey, that's our pen. This parrot is so well known at this bungee site, they even have a shirt created after her. They named her Lola, and she comes and goes as she pleases. The rainforests in Costa Rica are definitely alive and exciting. While enjoying the extreme differences in climate, we saw some really awesome animals and fascinating insects. We're helping fix the road so our bus can make it over. Yay! After arriving at the entrance of Santa Rosa National Park, we realized we had to hike several miles to get to our campground. We took the advice of other backpackers and attempted to hitchhike. It was our first time ever hitchhiking, and luckily it was safe and very exciting. We arrived at the first campsite. It felt like we just arrived in a wildlife wonderland. Found a scorpion in the fire pit.
I think that's it right there. It's all curled up though.
The next morning, we were off on a hike of 7 miles down a steep trail to get to the oceanside campsites. After hiking 3 miles, an SUV finally approached us and we caught a ride.
Oh,
Muchas gracias.
muchas gracias.
Es muy impresivo.
Okay. Muchas gracias.
That was our second hitchhiking ride. Pretty exciting. So we were trying to sleep on the beach, and when we were trying to do that, something broke into our tent right there. And we noticed because they took some bags outside of our tent. Looks like they smelled some sweet cough drops or something. Hopefully some duct tape will do the trick. We wish we could have stayed for several days, but we only had enough water with us to stay one night. So We have about 11 kilometers to hike on this rough dirt road uphill, and we have 12 ounces of water left. So about an ounce of water a kilometer. So that means divided by 2 of us, we each get 6 ounces. As we hiked back up the steep trail, we had never felt so in need of water and had doubts whether or not we would actually make it back. How many ounces left, Heather? 8 or 6?
8.
We have 8 ounces left now. Agua? Do you have a little bit of extra water or anything? We only have like 8 ounces left. We got a while. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias.
Hope you survive.
Thank you. Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes, we just got some water. They gave us 10 ounces of water. Look at that. Agua, un poquito. Can I get the one?
This is potable, it's portable.
Oh, sí.
Okay.
Oh, muchas gracias. Thank you so much.
You need more?
We're almost to our campground, so we're almost there.
No, it's 3 miles, maybe 2 miles.
Look at all they gave us. A full Nalgene and all that. Finally made it. Yay. Back to our campsite. We're gonna celebrate with primal strips. Primal strip. We were so relieved to have life's bare necessities once again.
Here is our lentil dinner. It's pretty good. It's not cooked all the way, but it'll do the trick.
I kind of screwed up the cooking a little bit. It's like lentil soup now. The following day, we traveled to Ricon De La Vieja, an active volcano area. Ricon De La Vieja.
No español.
Un poquito.
Nacional Ricon de la Vieja.
Sí.
Muchas gracias.
Mucho gusto.
Aquí? Okay. Gracias.
Mucho gusto.
Mucho gusto. Yay, we hitchhiked all the way to Ricon De La Vieja. There's a bunch of cows in the road. That was weird. Okay, got it. Fresh papaya. This is our fresh papaya we just got. We'll scrape out the seeds and then, yeah, ready to eat. That's some good papaya. Chips and guacamole for breakfast. Is it hot?
No, it's actually like kind of cold.
Well, it gets kind of hot right there. We're at our first mud painting party. Nice. Our next stop was a small town called Dominical, which had great shopping, surfing, and we found our favorite restaurant. The food there was so good, we had to go back for seconds.
Maracati roll.
I will have the falafel sandwich. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Gracias.
Thank you.
Going into this trip, one of my biggest worries was what I was going to eat. I'm almost always thinking about food. I had recently decided to become vegan for ethical and environmental reasons. I was very nervous that I would have trouble finding enough food to feed my body, which was burning at least 3,500 calories a day. But it was easier than I thought. In fact, it was just as easy as eating a plant-based diet in the United States, if not easier. Most grocery stores had all the essentials: peanut butter and jelly, cereal, bananas, peanuts, granola bars, refried beans, garlic, avocados, the list goes on. Heather's go-to snack was peanuts. Mine was bananas. They tasted way better than they did in the US, and they were dirt cheap. There were so many exotic and delicious fruits in Costa Rica, but there was one that really stood out from them all. It was so sweet and savory, and by far our favorite. One of the names it goes by is mamanchino.
So there are these funny looking things like this. And what you do is you break into them either with your fingers, which I can't do, so I'm going to use my teeth. And you break it open like that. And it looks really funny. It looks like a egg or something, and then you throw it away. And then it's really juicy and good. Which one really is? And there's like a pit inside. So you don't eat the pit, you just take it out and just yeah.
After taking a sketchy but fun truck ride, we arrived to a remote area called Playa Matapalo. They just dropped us off in the middle of nowhere. These are our escort dogs right here. Making sure we stay safe in Costa Rica. The dogs decided to follow us to our campsite with us, so I don't know if they'll leave us alone or not, but they might make good watchdogs. One of the dogs even growled and barked at someone passing our campsite. We still got one of our watchdogs here left. I don't know where the other dog went, but this one's still here. And he will be watching our tent right over there is our tent. Although the dogs didn't smell the greatest, we felt very comfortable and safe with them around. Some water. So it's morning now. As you can see, the dog is still with us. Matapalo was another beautiful hidden gem, and we spent 3 nights here. said goodbye to the dogs and headed out. Our trip was coming to an end. It was time to move to the east side of Costa Rica. One of the more exciting ways to travel to the east side is to go through Panama. So we decided it would be relaxing to spend the night at the islands of Bocas Del Toro in Panama. It turned out getting there took longer than we thought. We went from buses to taxis to water taxis, and even traveled by foot for a few miles. Panama was a good change of scenery, but when we arrived back in Costa Rica, we felt relieved, as if we had just arrived back home. We had just 3 days left in Costa Rica, and we wanted to make the most of it. We decided to pitch our tent for the last time on the beach in the town of Puerto Viejo. That night, our worst nightmare finally happened. At 2 a.m., we were awoken by two men talking to us in Spanish. Our tent cover was on, so we couldn't see them, and one of them claimed they had a machete. I could feel their legs pushing up against me while I was inside the tent. I think they were trying to intimidate me, and it worked. Eventually, they spoke English and asked for our money. We handed them our money through the tent door. They asked for more, and then our phones. I didn't know what to do. We felt helpless and trapped. Heather was brave enough to get out of the tent and yell for help, and the two thieves ran away. I quickly followed her out and also started yelling. Luckily, neither of us were hurt. As we gathered our things, we nervously looked for lurking figures in the dark with our headlamps. I don't think we'll ever pack up our tent faster than we did that night. The police station was very friendly, though they didn't understand English. They eventually let us camp out behind the station. If we counted this night as camping, it would add up to 2 full weeks of camping in Costa Rica. I was amazed that we were able to camp so often in a land so foreign to us. We spent some time at the beach in the morning with some stray dogs.
Good boy.
No biting, no biting. Now it was time for the last excursion of our trip. The Jaguar Sanctuary was probably my favorite tourist attraction of the entire trip. There's such a wide variety of animals, and the best part was that you could actually sit with the adopted baby monkeys. I wasn't allowed to film inside with the monkeys, but one of them grabbed my hand and finger. It was an incredible feeling. For our last day, we visited the highly anticipated sloth sanctuary, which was Heather's favorite. During a peaceful canoe ride, we were able to see plenty of sloths in the wild.
Oh my gosh.
The sanctuary also had several sloths that were not fit to be released into the wild, and we were able to see them up close. We could not have asked for a better trip. The animals were all incredible, and we had hiked over 50 miles along dirt trails, beaches, and roads. We jumped off waterfalls, ate delicious meals, and tasted some of the most amazing fruit. Even the adventures that were not so great were valuable life experiences that we will never forget, and made us appreciate what we have. We would go back to Costa Rica in a heartbeat, but nothing would beat this first time.
Waiting for my words to catch like I'm trying to strike a match that's soaking wet. See through skull, see through skin, leave all the light.
We're in a sea cave.
Can't see
Pretty sweet. A small one though.
Okay.
watching the color drain from my eyes. Cold cereal and TV before I go to sleep.
close.
We didn't get a fresh one out of the tree, so we're gonna try this one that we found on the ground. It looks good, so let's go chop it up. There it is.
Cool.
Oh, look at all that juice in there.
Yay, coconut water.
Still good. Sweet. I'm waiting all trip for this moment. It's not horrible.
It's not horrible.